Hi there, nice to have you all back on the Coin Matters channel. Another TFL update has been released. We have more information from Station that you may find interesting. This morning's lengthy stop comes at an unusually early hour. The best advice I can provide right now is to put your hands in your lap and do nothing, even if it seems harmless or seems to work, or even if your grandmother says it's all right. Whoever is on the other end of these communications is unknown to us. Seeing a bogus version of a station is the greatest threat right now. If you are asked for your phonomics and you think to yourself, "Oh, I've been logged out, all I need to do is put my mini-mix in, they must have a fixed station," and then you really do so, you have just surrendered your wallet to a fraudster. Now, I've always thought that at these periods, we need a maintenance mode at the very least, because maintenance is such a catch-all term. Since this is such a minor point, I believe we could easily incorporate it into our shared vision. And entering a mode is as easy as that. Indeed, it would be of great assistance to us all if people could avoid making such obvious errors. Even though 116 people like this, not many people check TFL for news. There is widespread agreement that they are holding the legacy assets that our blockchain needs hostage and will not release them. So, this kind of behavior routinely endangers our own blockchain, yet they advise against engaging with anything at all to avoid potential phishing scams. You have Station right here, I'm leaving, put a link to this in the description, and that's it, that's all there is to Station across the board, just don't use it right now. This is where any official changes or announcements will be made, or otherwise TFL. Now I've added my 2 cents to the discussion. And I've already stated that the risks are overblown. And the risks here are that we have no real say over our own infrastructure, so having chain-owned, chain-run infrastructure is crucial. Doing so would send strong signals in the right direction, and that would be terrific, wouldn't it? TFL could create their own blockchain if they decided to. Success is following them. To whom should the one team entrust the inherited assets? Maybe? That sounds fantastic. I think this is a good route to take if they were going to follow governance and actually launch and use those legacy assets. In our rational minds, we should be taking this path to get our own systems and infrastructure, and everything should be chain-owned and chain-run. People who think that privatization should be allowed are mistaken. Certainly, though not initially. You don't allow the privatization of essential industries when you're launching a blockchain. If you want your legs to work, you better be prepared to pay for it. One such instance is when you have to cross a bridge that was constructed 1,000 years ago and for which you must pay a toll. Now, as I was saying, the threats are genuine because many individuals won't be exposed to these new versions. Many will see this as successful and conclude that it's safe to use or enter. Many people are probably wondering where they can find metrics for all of this. You'll find pretty much everything you need in here, and I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to check it out for yourself on Moonrunners. Because of how accustomed I am to it, lump dash is missed. Adapting to a new format or layout can be challenging at first. Everything you need to know about the pools and the parameters is right here. In fact, the inclusion of these parameters is a major plus, since it allows you to inspect the live state of the chain. Among these criteria, one for projects that help them avoid the ban tax will hopefully materialize shortly. Why is this so great? Because we're making it easy for people and things to spot the chain and leave. We could construct, but, yeah, the burn tax is going to be quite high for us. Well, now they have a way to sidestep it the way Binance does. Yes, it was necessary to comply with whitelisting financial criteria. I think it's great that they're advancing this, so I'm going to make a movie about it on my own time and encourage as many projects as I can to move their launches to the blockchain. They want the finest possible start, therefore they often appeal to influencers for assistance with their launch. But I think it's best to dive right in, make a real commitment, start small and grow things up organically, and make sure they're done right. Additionally, just attempt to backfeed as much information into the blockchain as possible. Some people are finally stepping out from hiding and creating blockchain-based applications. At the same time, though, I believe there are roughly 3 indexes that are going to get spin up shortly, various token factories that will get spun up, giving birth to a plethora of worthless tokens. So, people come up with all these different ways to drain money from users or the blockchain itself. Another option that I'm aware of is a liquid stake or derivative, which would make your earnings immediately accessible. The method by which this would be accomplished is remarkably similar to that used in Anchor period schools. Essentially, they have taken Anchor protocol, put it in a bowl, and mashed it with a mashed potato masher, with similar results. A new Anchor protocol is exactly that. One of those things that is kind of like this USTC burn, right? And it actually risks the blockchain because you supply too much liquidity, which could get extremely problematic. If they do decide to burn 800 million, they would be better off splitting it up into 8 burns of 100 million USTC each, doing it once a week for 8 weeks straight in order to get the most marketing mileage out of the bans. Try to get as many fresh users to agree that the problem is correct as possible. We lack a dedicated marketing group that could offer advice like, hey, you could really use this for greater reach, greater scope. Get more people to see the crypto community love you in this regard. Bernie, letting them in on the fact that we're burning something can have the reverse of the desired effect. Binance Bones, I mean once a month because that is so regular and structured. Traders can earn similarly from that. In fact, there is a large influx of new material just before the fires. Once the fire is lit, the sellout follows quickly, and the cycle continues indefinitely. But if we want to see charts that include everything that's happening, the USTC Quant team will be posting a film about it later today. So, with the charts looking the way they do at the moment, and with what's going on with the Quant team, the L1 ignoring governance doing things behind closed doors, there hasn't been a lot of good stuff going on, if that makes any sense. I'll be making a video on this topic. Given everything else that's happening, the price should be crushed under the weight of flaming bricks. That doesn't bode well. Now that we've presented this cohesive perspective, the charts are beginning to take on a little more encouraging appearance, suggesting that the end of the tunnel may not be so far off after all. The United Vision has been widely covered by crypto news outlets around the world, including those in Japan. Simply said, I find it fascinating. The next few weeks should prove to be rather exciting. I'll record a video for the Quant team outlining my exact thoughts and how I plan to vote, like I promised. For anything of this significance, I believe it warrants a standalone video. Even though the shorthand for reason for vote is reason for vote, this is still kind of why we need this memo structure. It would provide some clarity for the community and the delegates. However, a couple more things are being released today. Except for that, everyone, please be careful. Keep your chin up and your eyes open, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.